Yesterday, we read this paragraph about insight meditation takes the conditioned formations as its objective sphere. But even though the object is conditioned formations, the goal is actually to reach the unconditioned for attaining the supramundane. When we fully comprehend impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, and selflessness of everything formed, the mind breaks through the condition and realize the unconditioned nibbana. Sees nibbana with direct vision, makes it an object of immediate realization. Let's continue with the next paragraph. The breakthrough to the unconditioned is achieved by a type of consciousness or mental event called the supramundane path, Lokuttara Marga. The supramundane path occurs in 4 stages, 4 supramundane paths, each marking a deeper level of realization and issuing in a fuller degree of liberation. The 4th and last, in complete liberation. The 4 paths can be achieved in close proximity to one another for those with extraordinarily sharp faculties even in the same sitting, or, as is more typically the case, they can be spread out over time, even over several lifetimes. The supramundane paths share in common the penetration of the 4 noble truths. They understand them, not conceptually, but intuitively. They grasp them through vision, seeing them with self-validating certainty to be the invariable truths of existence. The vision of the truth which they present is complete at one moment. The 4 truths are not understood sequentially, as in the stage of reflection when thought is the instrument of understanding. They are seen simultaneously. To see one truth with the path is to see them all. The following paragraph will explain further about these 4 stages. Okay. For this one, any difficult word? Supramundane. I don't think there's definition for this. Is there? Okay. Transcending or superior to the physical world.
Supramundane.
Supramundane. Okay. Yeah, there are 4 stages there. This should be referring to, starting from stream entry to once returner to non-returner, and the last one is Arahant. So starting from stream entry to once returner will be a deeper level of realization until the last one, issuing in a full degree of liberation, a complete transcendence. Let's take a look at footnote number 70. Okay, footnote number 70. In the first edition of this book, I stated here that the 4 paths have to be passed through sequentially, such that there is no attainment of a higher path without first having reached the path below it. This certainly seems to be the position of the commentaries. However, the suttas sometimes show individuals proceeding directly from the stage of worldling to the 3rd or even the fourth path and fruit. Though the commentator explains that they pass through each preceding path and fruit in rapid succession, the canonical texts themselves give no indication that this has transpired, but suggest an immediate realization of the higher stages without the intermediate attainment of the lower stages. Okay, what does this mean? It means that initially he thinks that we have to go through from stream enterer to once returner to non-returner and then to Arahant. But some texts in the sutta suggest that some people can go directly from wordling directly to non-returner or even to Arahantship. Yeah. That's what the text says. More importantly, the paths all share one common thing. What is that? The penetration of the Four Noble Truths. They understand them, not conceptually, but intuitively. Yeah? Not just an intellectual knowledge, but a direct realization, a direct seeing. Yeah, this is also interesting. The four truths are not understood sequentially one by one, like the one we study. Oh, what is the first noble truth? What is the second noble truth? What's the third? What's the fourth? Yeah, this is when we study it intellectually through the instrument of understanding. But for the enlightened ones, for the noble disciples, they are seen simultaneously. Yeah. This line is, I find, quite beautiful. To see one truth with a path is to see them all. Okay, any question or comment for this paragraph? If not, let's read on the next paragraph. How about Sister Choi Kwan?
As the path penetrates the four truths, the mind exercises four simultaneous functions, one regarding each truth. It fully comprehends the truth of suffering, seeing all conditioned existence as stamped with the mark of unsatisfactoriness. At the same time, it abandons craving, cuts through the mass of egotism and desire that repeatedly gives birth to suffering. Again, the mind realizes cessation, the deathless element, nirvana, now directly present to the inner eyes. And fourthly, the mind develops the normal Eightfold Path, whose 8 factors spring up endowed with tremendous power, attain to supramundane stature. Right view as the direct seeing of nirvana, right intention as the mind's application to nirvana, the triad of ethical factors as the checks on moral transgressions, right efforts as the energy in the path consciousness, right mindfulness as the factor of awareness, and right concentration as the mind's one-pointed focus. This ability of the mind to perform four functions at the same time, same moment, is compared to a candle's ability to simultaneously burn the wick, consume the wick, dispel darkness, and give light. Thank you.
Thanks, Sister Choi Kwan. Take a look at footnote 71. It's from Visuddhimagga. As the path penetrates the four truths, the mind exercises four simultaneous functions, all together at once, one regarding each truth. Firstly, the first one fully comprehends the truth of suffering, seeing all conditioned existence as stamped with mark of unsatisfactoriness. This is the first noble truth. The second one, it abandons craving, cuts through the mass of egotism and desire that repeatedly gives birth to suffering. Let's define egotism here. The fact of being excessively considered or absorbed in oneself. This, the enlightened ones abandon. So this is the second noble truth, the second function. The third one, again, the mind realizes cessation, the deathless element, nibbana, now directly present to the inner eye. This is the third noble truth. And lastly, the fourthly, the mind develops the noble eightfold path, whose all 8 factors spring up endowed with tremendous power, attain to supramundane stature. Let's define quickly stature. Importance or reputation gained by ability or achievement, standing, reputation, status. Right view is direct seeing of nibbana now, and right intention, mind's application to nibbana. The triad of ethical factor. What are the triad of ethical factors? Right speech, right action, right livelihood, as the checks on moral transgression, right effort as the energy in the path consciousness, right mindfulness as the factor of awareness, right concentration as the mind's one-pointed focus. So we have come full circle. We started all the way from right view. Now, at the very end, everything we have read started to fuse together, to issue in liberation. At least intellectually we understand that. This ability to perform 4 functions at a time, the ability of the mind, compared to a candle's ability to burn the wick. Let's define the wick. The wick is like the, I guess it's the string that's usually burning. Let's define Google. Candle wick is the string that holds the candle. This one. The one that's always burning. Burn the wick, consume the wax of the candle, dispel darkness around the room, and also give light. Okay, I think we can read one more paragraph. Sister Chekon, would you like to nominate next person?
Sister Saikyam, please.
The supramundane paths have the special task of eradicating the defilements. Prior to the attainment of the path, in the stages of concentration and even inside meditation, the defilements were not cut off, but were only debilitated, checked and suppressed by the training of the higher mental faculties. Beneath the surface, they continue to linger in the form of latent tendencies, but when the supramundane paths are reached, the work of eradication begins.
Thanks again. Okay, the task is to eradicate defilements. Before the attainment of the path, the stages of concentration and insight meditation, the defilements were not cut off, but were only debilitated. Let's define this word here. In a very weakened and infirm state.
Debilitated.
Debilitated. Okay. Debilitate means to make someone very weak and infirm, weakening, draining, and feebling. Infirm, let's define infirm. Infirm means not physically or mentally strong, especially through age or illness. Another definition of a person or the judgment, weak, irresolute. Yeah. So a simpler word would be weaken, and the defilements will only weaken, checked and suppressed by the training of the higher mental faculties, but not cut off. Only the supramundane path can cut off the defilements. Beneath the surface, even though it's kept in check, suppressed, they continue to linger in the form of latent tendencies. Supposedly, this is why even some people, after practicing so many years, sometimes there's a possibility that they can transgress because the latent tendencies is not yet cut off. But when the supramundane paths are reached, the work of eradication begins, which will be covered in the paragraphs to come. But for today, I think this is a good time to stop. Any question or comments for this one and the previous paragraphs? Okay, if not, let's do a dedication. 厌消三障就烦恼，厌的就会真明了。普厌罪障细消除，实是常行菩萨道。阿弥陀佛。Till we meet again, may we be guided by the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Have a supramundane Thursday ahead. Thanks everyone for participating. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.